Essay: The Hypocrisy of Flying the Confederate Flag. In 1984, a man standing outside of the Republican National Convention in Dallas, Texas, decided to burn the American flag. Americans were outraged. How could someone show that much disrespect towards the flag that symbolizes equality, freedom, and national unity? For many Americans, this brazen act had to be punished. As a result, the man who so dared to burn the American flag was arrested and found guilty of violating a Texas statute that made it illegal to intentionally or knowingly desecrate a state or national flag. The reason behind this arrest was simple. The state of Texas claimed that we cannot have any citizen in the United States disrupting national unity. In opposition to the Supreme Court ruling that an American flag could be burned by any American citizen or non-citizen, the United States Congress decided to pass the Flag Protection Act of 1989, which made it a crime to desecrate the American flag. But just as with the Texas statute, the Supreme Court declared the actions of Congress unconstitutional. Many Americans were upset at the Supreme Court's decision. Why can't we have a law protecting our sacred image, the American flag? This was clamored by many. But I am perplexed at those who would pass a law making it a crime to burn the American flag, especially when it is a southern state trying to pass such a law. I was born and raised in the South, and since I can remember, as far back into my early years, I have seen Southerners display the Confederate flag. Many Southerners to this day still take pride in the Confederate flag and hold dear what their ancestors fought for. Now, I am not going to get into the many obvious reasons why the Confederate flag should not be flown. I am just going to center on one argument on why the Confederate flag should not be flown anywhere in this country. And here's the argument, as simply as I can make it. How dare anyone advocate the arrest, the conviction of anyone who desecrates the American flag, who also believes that the Confederate flag should be flown or put on display anywhere in this country? The Confederate flag is the antithesis to the American flag. The American flag represents unity, whereas the Confederate flag represents sectional divide. Those who displayed the Confederate flag during the American Civil War, they wanted to leave the Union. They had no desires to be a part of the United States. The Confederate flag is a symbol of treason. And those who fought under that flag or any other Confederate banner were committing treason. By displaying the Confederate flag, that is the highest form of disrespect towards the American flag. So how dare anyone be opposed to burning the American flag when they're in favor of flying the Confederate flag? Those who say they support the criminalization of the burning of the American flag, let me repeat that. Those who support the criminalization of burning the American flag because it destroys national unity must realize that the Confederate flag and any other flag flown by the Confederate was in direct opposition to national unity. They wanted to leave the Union. In the Bible it states clearly, you cannot serve two masters. Well, you cannot be loyal to two flags, especially when one of those flags was in direct opposition to the flag you're supposed to be loyal to. Those who support the flying of the Confederate flag should also be strong proponents for burning the American flag. Those who proclaim that it should be a crime to burn the American flag while promoting the flying of the Confederate flag are being hypocrites. Instead of questioning the patriotism of those who want to burn the American flag, maybe they should question their own. For it is quite obvious, those who promote the flying of the Confederate flag are not fond of the advances we have made as a unified country. They are still lamenting over what could have been.